Hello and welcome back to another Pretty HD video. Today we've got another Game of the Week episode, and this time it is an FA Cup fixture. It is round 4 and it is Derby County vs Manchester United. This is going to be a very, very interesting game. Louis van Gaal himself has already said that, well, this could be the game that he gets sacked if he does not win. I did just want to say that I am changing the format of Game of the Week. This game currently being played is between me and my brother, purely because the boring 0-0s that are constants are just ridiculous. And already 3 minutes in, we've got a bit of action. Marcus Rojo is sent off, which is frankly ridiculous because it was not a sending off whatsoever. So, I mean, it's just to get a bit more action and entertainment in the background. But let's get to the Game of the Week itself. We've got Derby, a team that, well, last season they could have went up. They could have went up easily, but they had a bit of a bad spell. And this season, they seem to be duplicating that. They're on, yet again, a bit of a bad spell. And they've lost 3-0 against Birmingham, my team, of course, which was a great win. 4-1 against, who was it now? My bad, this is not exactly professional. But they lost 4-1 recently as well. I think it was against... No, sorry, I just cannot remember. But... to put it simply and put it bluntly, they're not in the best of form. Man United have got 7 wins from their last 22 matches. They had 1 shot on target at Old Trafford. That, to me, that isn't Man United. When you actually try to comprehend that, the fact that that's Manchester United, that is disgraceful. 1 shot on target at Old Trafford for the entire game. 90 minutes of football at Old Trafford and they got 1 shot on target. This was against Southampton, I believe. What is inspiring that? I don't know. Obviously Louis van Gaal. But either way, this is going to be a feisty encounter. You can see currently it's very ironic, but Derby 0, Manchester United 0 is the FIFA prediction between me and my brother right now. Because it does finish 0-0 in this first game, I will put that out there already. I decided to do a replay fixture, which is a bit odd, I suppose, because technically this game isn't a replay stage yet. But I thought I would like to do one, so I did. And you can see my admittance there has sort of destroyed the action in the lead-up. But 9-man Manchester United, that is just a roundup of me and my brother playing each other, isn't it? A 9-man Manchester United. But to be quite honest, this was one of the best 0-0s that we'd played in a while. It was full of quite a lot of action, quite a lot of chances. And you will see in the replay, there is goals, to be honest. Basically, there is goals. Currently, it predicts 0-0. If it was between me and my brother, it would have been 0-0. The first round, it would go to a replay at Old Trafford. But Derby have lost all 6 meetings against Manchester United in the FA Cup. The most recent one was a 4-1 defeat in the 5th round in February 2009. They knocked United's predecessors, Newton Heath, out of the FA Cup in 1896 and 1897. Of course, that's a long time ago. In fact, so long ago, they weren't even called Manchester United. They were called Newton Heath. So, Derby have only won 3 of the last 19 meetings in all competitions. They haven't got the best records against them. They drew 5 of them, remember though, but lost 11. So from 19 games, 11 losses isn't exactly something to be happy with. Derby County, well, their sole FA Cup success came 70 years ago in 1946. This is in the first final after the conclusion of World War II, in which they beat Charlton 4-1. The Rams have only lost 2 of their last 14 home games this season. That is a brilliant statistic, but their drop of form recently suggests that these 2 off-form sides, going into a game like this, well, it's a bit risky and a bit interesting, because 2 off-form sides, you've got Derby County on one hand. They really should have went up within the last 2 seasons. They're expected to go up this season. They were everyone's favourite at this point last season, but didn't. They're expected to go up this season. Will they? Well, they're doing okay, but they've gone on a bit of a drop of form once again, much like they did last year. And Then you have Manchester United, who are, well, incredibly underperforming, but on a completely different scale. It is Manchester United, simply the best and most famous team possibly in the entire world. Literally, that is what the reputation is. Manchester United, you go to anywhere in the world, they know exactly who they are. You see these images of these poor African kids, you'll see them in a fake Manchester United shirt. This is how important that club is. And to see them only getting one shot on, I'm going to use the stat again, one shot on target at Old Trafford in that mighty stadium, a stadium that I have personally been to and personally walked out the tunnel in. That was, like, obviously with no crowd, it was on a stadium tour, but it was such an immense stadium. To think that only one shot was actually hit towards a goal. No, not towards a goal, but hit and was on target towards that goal in that stadium in 90 minutes of football. For United, obviously, not for Southampton, is quite saddening more than anything. And as much as United, well, there's so much debate, and a lot of people hate them, a lot of people love them, but a lot of people hate them as well. Despite all of that, they are Manchester United. And to see United do really badly, it's quite funny. Yes, it is quite funny, because the amount of money that they've injected into the club and to be not exactly the best they've ever been, to see them do that, it's quite funny, but it's almost quite sad to actually see such a mighty club fall at the reins of Louis van Gaal. Van Gaal's had success at other teams, he's had success in his history, that's why they signed him, but he's actually got less of a win percentage than David Moyes, which, well, that's a bit of a reality check for United now. They need to sort it out, and it's not all the manager's fault, don't get me wrong. The players just aren't performing either. And I mean, in this game, Derby County are beating them. Of course, this is a reflection of my brilliant ability on FIFA in comparison to my brothers. By the way, don't ever say that I ever said that if it comes to any future game of the week. But this is a game that United simply have to win. They have to win it. If they do not win it, well, Van Gaal could be sacked. It's all starting over again, and they've got to try and start their, well, rejuvenations from Sir Alex Ferguson's departure yet again. And it seems to be an endless cycle with Man United at the moment. 2 managers since Sir Alex Ferguson. They need to stick to this one now, in my opinion. If they go to 3 managers since Sir Alex Ferguson, suddenly it becomes a bit of a romp. Suddenly it becomes a bit funny. And suddenly it becomes, well, not a club that you can take very seriously anymore. Because it's like they're just sacking managers left, right and centre in about 4 years. They'd have had 3 managers if Louis van Gaal gets sacked. So it's at a point now where Van Gaal is either man to take them forward, maybe not. And I don't know what's going on in this game. Derby are leading 2-0 at Manchester United, Old Trafford. That is immense. But is he the right man to take them forward and to get them back to their glory days? Ugh. I just don't know. I don't think so, to be honest. And it is going to hit a point where they need to get rid of him. They need new life in the club. But are they going to do any better if they do? Obviously, Manchester United is a very attractive club to come to, but who replaces them? Pep Guardiola, maybe? Yeah. Jose Mourinho, maybe? Yeah. The thing is, Jose Mourinho, he's admitted that, well, according to the newspapers and the press anyway, he said that he will change his style of play if he can come to Manchester United to not be boring. Because, let's be honest, that's what they are. That Jose Mourinho's style of play at Chelsea was park the bus. Much like Tony Pulis' style at West Brom, just on a bit of a better scale, obviously. Well, according to this season, not. But either way, that's a completely different subject. The thing is, if Jose Mourinho goes to Manchester United, I think that's a point where they've got to be really careful with who they assign next. Because I sound like I'm speaking a bit ahead of myself, because I'm speaking about who the next manager is going to be, even though Van Gaal hasn't even gone yet. The chances are Van Gaal is going to get sacked very soon. If he doesn't, it would surprise me. If he doesn't, but he's gone back onto form, of course, though, that wouldn't surprise me, because that would make sense. But the chances are Van Gaal is going to be sacked very, very soon. And if he is, then who takes the realm? Can their next decision be good enough? Because they need it to be good enough, otherwise they sack him. That's now 4 managers since Sir Alex Ferguson. And that would be more managers since Sir Alex Ferguson in a few years than it would be with Sir Alex Ferguson there for one manager for 20 odd years or whatever. So this is a point now for United. They need to win this. They need to win something. They need to win another trophy. It's been a few years now. The FA Cup is a good opportunity to get some silverware back in the bag, because Man United are a trophy-winning team, and if they don't win trophies, then they're not a trophy-winning team. That was really obvious, obviously, but now I just sound like Michael Owen. But that is basically the cut decision here. United have to win. Derby, they've got nothing to play for. They've got nothing to play for in the FA Cup. They have got stuff to play for in the league. They need to improve in the league. But in the FA Cup, let's be quite frank, they're going to go out there and they're going to just, try and enjoy it. They've got a game against Manchester United of course, at home, if it doesn't go to a replay. But the first, this round will be at home if it is decided in this game. If it's not decided, then they will also get an Old Trafford replay, of course. But to put it bluntly, Derby, they can go all out. They can try and show Van Gaal up. And let's be honest, Van Gaal has a history of losing Championship and League One teams. Cough, cough, MK Dons, cough, cough. But that is now pretty much the conclusion to this game of the week. But I'm not going to end it there, because I want to speak about an entirely different subject, which is the transfers in the January transfer window and what I think of them so far. Now, I saw a few stats the other day. The Championship has spent more money than the Ligue 1 this year in the January transfer window, which is just immense. Then you have the La Liga, who have spent 22 million. This is as of a few days ago, remember, but you've got something ridiculous like that, which is incredibly low. And then you've got, on top of that, you've also got the Premier League, who have spent 100 odd million, and then the Chinese League currently leading the way, which is quite surprising, but not surprising at the same time, with 104 odd million, mainly due to the Ramirez buy, which was just ridiculous. But the slow accumulation in the Premier League seems to be quite odd. You've got to say Alexander Pato has probably got to be one of the reasons, which isn't a surprise, because Pato's transfer budget must have been high. Then you've got Ramirez out to Jiangsu Suning for 25 million. That's another big signing. You've got Andros Townsend to Newcastle as well. That equates to 12 million, apparently. That's the undisclosed fee for them. Basically, there's a lot of teams that have bought some, 10, 12 million players. Charlie Austin, you've got Jonjo Shelvey, and it's just accumulated in the Premier League very, very slowly. Alexander Pato is yet to officially sign, according to BBC Sport, but it looks like he will be signing soon, to Chelsea, that is, which is, I've always liked Pato, and it's a shame that he went on a bit of a decline. And it's been said by Hiddink that it's not a gamble, which, are you guaranteed goals with him? No. But you're guaranteed a character, I suppose. You're guaranteed the name, Alexander Pato. It's a shame that he's never really hit full height. He's struggled with injuries since 2010. And he's that sort of player that you could just genuinely imagine being so good. He was brilliant on career mode a few years ago. And then he just suddenly just disappeared off the face of this planet. And it's such a shame to see a player like Pato and a name like Pato, because it seems like he's been around for so long, yet he is still only 28, 29 years old, I believe. So he's still got a bit of fight left in him, still got a bit of potential left to run, and hopefully he can prove his name in the Premier League. I want to see his name in the Premier League. I want to see him doing well in the Premier League. That would be brilliant. To see Alexander Pato ripping up the Premier League would be insane, because I like the kid. well, he's not really a kid anymore, but I like the player. I think he's got a lot of unlived potential, and it's such a shame to see players like him go down the pan. But I think that does bring it to an end. Finally now, this January transfer window, it's been a bit odd. There's been a few mediocre signings, but it surprised me that the Premier League have actually spent so much. Again, it's just the slow accumulation of so many transfers that are just little and small and eventually add up to 100 odd million. So it's that is a bit weird. It is a bit odd, actually. English top flight clubs have collectively spent 130 million in each of the past 2 January transfer windows, I believe, before this one. But that figure is well short of the record 225 million spent in 2011. It looks like this year's transfer window, depending on the final day, is going to be very similar to last year's as well. So, anyway, do thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Who do you want to see signed in the transfer window? Make sure you tell me down below.